high rainfall chance doesn't necessarily mean a high rainfall total, because Saturday rain is likely. We'll have some moving into northwest Georgia early in the day, kind of spreading over more of North Georgia later in the day. But based on this one longer range model here, the amounts are definitely not the drought busting level, and they're not the washout level either, meaning there'll be plenty of hours that end up being dry for Saturday and maybe even drier on Sunday. We'll add a little bit to these numbers, but Sunday is probably the drier of the 2 weekend days. Watch what happens, though, once we start adding late Monday into Tuesday into this. This is when the rain becomes a lot more beneficial. If we start boosting the numbers over an inch or two, that is definitely a step in the right direction. What we will be monitoring with those heavier rainfall totals early next week is any severe weather threat. And as we're getting new updates this morning, that threat, especially Monday into Tuesday, looks like it's going to stay back to our west, but we'll keep an eye on this because it's not often that we even details on the weekend rainfall chances, how much or how little we're expecting, coming up in a few minutes. Ron and Elise.
Can't get here fast enough. All right, Joanne, thank you. Checking Skyfox traffic, we are keeping an eye on a crash in Decatur. It's impacting the intersection between Covington Highway and I-285. Police are directing traffic around the incident, so stay alert and expect to see those extra brake lights in that area. Now your big three in from the northern suburbs. I-75 out of Cobb County, that's 19 minutes. On Georgia 400, that'll...
Even if it's too cool for your taste, it won't stay very long. We've had several cool mornings that have turned into great afternoons. And here's the deal. This morning isn't even as chilly as it's been the last few. The one thing that's still, unfortunately, very, very consistent is how dry it is. And we still have an elevated fire risk across North Georgia. We don't have the level of wind added to this that would require a red flag warning, but that still doesn't really help us out much as far as how dry it is out there, with wildfires active in middle and in South Georgia. Here at home, though, we're waking up to a mostly clear and a cool start, especially cool over north and northwest Georgia, where you're still in the 40s, 50s to the south and east, and Atlanta, the only spot that has remained in the 60s all morning long. But here's what we're setting up for today. Average high for this day is 75. We're near or even beyond that by noon, and while we're not going to be breaking any records here, we are going to get to these warmer low 80s later on. The rainfall that we need is in the extended forecast. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes. Buck and Alex.
All right, Joanne, thank you. Let's check Skyfox traffic now. We have a crash to tell you about. This is on 285 in DeKalb County. It's heading north at I-20. The Hero is on the scene and just relocated this problem to the right shoulder. Stay alert and expect to see a few lingering delays in that area. We're also watching a crash. This is on I-20 in Covington. Two left lanes are blocked heading west before Sigmund Road. That's a red ride right now from Allman Road. So you might want to avoid this area if you can. Maybe try Old Covington Highway or Dogwood Drive as an alternate route. 8:02 your time. The man accused of carrying out last week's deadly shooting spree in DeKalb County has died. The sheriff's office says that the suspect was found unresponsive in his cell yesterday evening.
Good Day's Mark Teichner is live outside the jail with more on this developing story. Mark, good morning.
Yeah, officials tell us that they tried to perform life-saving measures on Ola Olukitan Odan Abel, but were unable to save his life, and now that death is under investigation. Tuesday evening, family and friends gather for a vigil in memory of Tony Matthews, one of three people killed in last week's deadly DeKalb County shooting spree.
Tony was a great guy. He was an honest guy, hardworking, very dependable, the best brother, the best father, and he's going to be truly missed.
At just about the same time, the man accused in the crimes died in the DeKalb County jail. The sheriff's office says Ola Olukitan Adon Abel was found unresponsive in his cell. Despite life-saving efforts, the 26-year-old was pronounced dead a half hour later.
This individual was involved in an incident in DeKalb County, followed by an incident in Brookhaven, and later another incident in DeKalb County.
Police say last Monday morning, Adon Abel started killing innocent victims. 31-year-old Brianna Weathers was fatally shot outside of Checkers. An hour later, Matthews was killed as he slept in front of a Kroger. And a few hours after that, Department of Homeland Security employee Lauren Billis was shot and stabbed as she walked her dog. By the end of the day, state troopers arrested Adon Abel in Troup County. He'd been held in the DeKalb County jail ever since. Before the news of the death had been announced, Matthew's brother had this to say about the suspect.
I can't put words with it to try to think about what was going through the guy here that did it. So for me to comprehend that's like impossible.
The sheriff's office says there was no visible signs of foul play, but they are going to wait until they get information from the medical examiner's office to determine exact cause of death so they can move forward with the investigation. Reporting live from outside of the DeKalb County Jail, I'm Mark Teichner for Good Day Atlanta.
All right, Mark, we appreciate you filling us in. Thanks. Police are investigating another shooting. This one's in DeKalb County. It happened overnight in Stone Mountain at the Jumbo Package Store on Redan Road. Police haven't said much about what they've found so far, but we'll let you know as soon as they do tell us more.
In a few hours before that incident, a 33-year-old man was shot on Northside Drive, not far from Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Police responded to the Wesley on the Beltline Apartments on Northside about 8 o'clock last night. We're told someone drove the victim to the hospital where he died. And the now vacant Camelot condos on Old National Highway was the scene of a fire overnight. The building caught fire around 3 o'clock this morning. No word yet on what caused that blaze, but fire crews say there were no reports of any injuries. The once troubled complex is being demolished. A fire late last year gutted Building 9 there. And also last year, the HOA president was arrested on fraud charges. The complex has been the scene of violent crime, including a number of murders.
It's 8:05 now, and happening today, state leaders will hold a groundbreaking ceremony to mark the start of the 400 Express Lanes project. The multi-billion-dollar investment adds new express lanes in both directions along 16 miles of the interstate. And Good Day's Lindsay Tillman is live from Sandy Springs with all the details. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning to you, Alex, and I can show you exactly why folks are going to be excited about this project. If you want to go ahead and take a look outside, you can see we're sitting in traffic here on 400, and that's what folks are going to be able to hopefully circumnavigate with the addition of these express lanes. So you might have already noticed some of the changes. Nightly road closures started Monday along Georgia 400 in both north and southbound lanes from Shiloh Road to North Springs MARTA Station. And again, these changes are going to start taking place now to help make your commute a little bit easier. This 16-mile stretch of Georgia 400 is getting a major upgrade.